Hey guys, it's Ready here, back with another race guide. This should be top 100. It could potentially be top 50 with how shit this race is. Another cool thing is I added this input overlay thing. You'll be able to see it during my run, so you can see what kind of inputs I'm doing. And currently, as of upload, this is a 345 guide, and it's currently top 4. It was given to me by Wiktor, which is this guy over here. He's currently using a different strat, but he's really nice and cool, so you should check out his channel. I'll link it down in the description. And yeah, just looking at these times, 10 minutes is actually crazy. So yeah, I hope I can make this race a little bit easier for you guys, and maybe you guys can get a time that you're happy with. Good luck. Oh, and like always, the video will be split into two sections, with the first section being the run and seeing what it generally looks like, and the second section being like a slowed down version with explanations to help you understand the steps and the thought processes behind it. Now that you guys have seen the run, I'm going to play it back at 35% speed like normally, and I'm going to provide my explanations. That was a pretty long run, in my opinion, but hopefully you guys can find improvements. So we're going to start with the Mermonkey tucked around that general location, and we're going to set it on last, make it a 1-1-0, and send around 14. Our goal here is to make it a 2-1-0 so that we can deal with a lot of the balloons in the early stages. If you guys watched my last race guide, we would have learned that Mermonkey start's actually pretty desirable as it's really strong for its price. And we're going to be building an ace here to snipe some of the end of round cash bonuses. So every time you send a round, there's a balloon that comes at the very end of that round that you're sending that gives a bonus. And we kind of want to snipe them to just make that extra money. That's why you see your cash bar jump sometimes. And when you watch my inputs, you kind of like see me spam it. Like I'm just trying to place an ace as fast as I can. And you don't really need to micro it to be honest, but if you want to, you can. I really don't see big differences for you guys. And we're going to be building a druid just at the top when we make enough money, and we're going to try building that into a Druid of the Jungle. So that's a 0-3-0, or more specifically, a 1-3-0 later. And we're going to be sending around 17 right after we build that Druid, and we're going to set it on close, because when we spawn the vines, we don't want it chasing the balloons, as we're going to be losing a lot of the Pierce. We want it to kind of like just stay in that general location so that we maximize the Pierce of our Druid of the Jungle. And my goal right here, right now, is to sell this ace into that Druid of the Jungle. So around 675 cash, I think you can sell. And we're gonna try sending around 24 now. And you're gonna build that cross path, the hard thorns, and we're gonna build the Etienne because we want those Etienne levels getting up. The hardest part about this race is honestly round 40 because it's a little bit RNG, and everything else is pretty simple. Um, but yeah, once we get that down, we're gonna send around 27 to make more money, and we're gonna get that cannon down. We're gonna try building this into a 203 cluster bomb cannon, and we're gonna send 32 just after upgrading it a little bit. When you send 32 is up to you. I don't think it makes too much of a difference, but the more aggressively you send, the more money you'll make. So just keep that in mind. And when we get the cluster bombs in the cross path, we'll be sending 35, and then after the Mermonkey, we'll be sending 39. Um, if you guys want me to make suggestions on how you could also maybe experiment a little bit in the future for future guides and how you could push your times in your own time, I could add like suggestions at the very end for stuff you guys can test so you guys can have a little bit of fun. But yeah, here we're going to be trying getting that Abyss Dweller. It's currently set on last because we want to maximize the pierce of everything, but later we will set it to strong. But yeah, currently, we're just waiting for that tier 4 Abyssal Warrior. Normally, faster strats would probably just sell that cannon into the Abyssal Warrior, but I found that to be a little bit inconsistent for me. So if you just want to make your life easier, just wait. And we're going to keep everything on close. The Abyssal Warrior you should have set to strong, but in this run, you'll see me not setting it to strong, and I think that's a bit of a mistake as it increases the RNG of everything. So yeah, set it to strong, and maybe you can micro the Druid of the Jungle targeting to first if you're really worried about the ceramics leaking from the insides. The modifiers in this race were so unnecessary, by the way. I don't know what Joey's cooking, but yeah. Thank you, Joey, I guess. And I get lucky here, and I just pop the mob and just break all the insides instantly, so that's cool. And we're just waiting. I guess I'm just building another Druid of the Jungle as it helps me live, and I'm going to make them into Jungle's bounties later. And I'm just sending rounds here, 45, then 49, just some rounds to make money. And if it feels safe, you can send rounds, but just be careful of sending too many in this race, as we don't really have much to live with. As right now, our full send setup would be just a tier 5 Merm. So yeah, I'm just waiting for that Jungle's Bounty. It makes money as you send rounds as well, so that's pretty neat. And it it's really nice as it just gives more vines, and the vines last longer, I think. So it just lets us live even more. And we also want the Etienne to level up to level 10. That'll help us with our full send. So we're just waiting for that as well. So we're not really in kind of a rush. And we're going to build more setup, right? So another cannon and upgrade that other druid and just send rounds slowly. And we're going to be planning on selling these cannons into that tier 5 merm in a bit. In terms of micro, this race has to probably be the easiest in a while for this specific strategy. But in terms of like memorizing steps, because of how long this race is, there is quite a bit of steps to memorize. So I guess that could be like the hardest part about learning the strat. A lot of it is interchangeable. I wouldn't say like, oh, you strictly need to do this at this time or whatever. So if you want to experiment a bit, go at it, just have fun. And we're gonna send 59 here. Don't send 60. I mean, you might be able to. I haven't really tested it, but I think the BFB will just get by and all the mob insides will kill us. Maybe the druids would catch it, but yeah. I'm just waiting for a bit of money. I think in this run I sold a bit too early. So I think you want to sell around maybe 19k. I think I sold it at 17k. We're gonna see in a sec, and we're just making money, and I'm just waiting, and I'm just yeah. I sold a little bit early, as you can tell, but I'm basically there. I basically afford Lord of the Abyss, and then I want to start sending more rounds now. So preferably get up to 65, and we're just gonna build our setup. And if you see at the bottom the level 10 Etienne ability, that little plain looking thing, that's getting off of cooldown right now. That helps a lot with surviving actually, because it's kind of strong. It snipes all the balloons, and it makes us it helps us with waiting for the ground zero ability, which is the middle path ace ability. It kind of like nukes the whole screen. It's pretty scuffed this race because of like all the modifiers. So like a lot of the insights just rush past if you don't really have anything to handle it. I'm just building snipers here just to ensure I live. Honestly, you can do the same. If you don't want to, you're probably fine as well. But just to stall, and we're gonna build our ground zero right now, and we might sell our cannons into it. I low-key kind of forgot what I did just now. Also, if you guys are finding these spoken instructions and breakdowns really helpful, please subscribe. It lets me know that I'm actually helping people out there and that people really do appreciate the time I'm putting into these. And I'm just trying to help everyone out and try to like break down stuff more, because I've noticed that a lot of the guides, they don't really teach. It's more like you copy and you just learn from experience, your self experience. But I think where I am today, I had a lot of help from like other racers like David and Gato, Trolley, all these other racers, and it helped me learn bits and pieces that kind of formed where I am right now. I wouldn't say I'm like amazing, but like I think I can definitely create T50 strats and compete at like a somewhat decent level. And so here I'm just placing random towers now. It's like do whatever you want, wing it. You're pretty much chill. Just don't spam your ground zero ability. Just use it when you really need it. So I would just use it when that ZOMG pops open. One of the cannons I cross path wrongly. The top path I'm pretty sure is always better for cross path than middle path, for races specifically. And yeah, you pretty much just win here. Like I don't know how you could possibly go wrong unless you sell your Etienne somehow, sell your druids, and then just thought you would live. But yeah, everything's chill. And that little dragon flying around, I think that's the plant ability. It's pretty neat. Um, yeah, low key, I'm just like sitting here not knowing what to do as I have like 13k and like this race restricted everything, right? And in terms of clean, you kind of want to like make the snipers 302 set on last so that they can kill the last balloons that appear on screen as quickly as possible. Because the last balloons, they're like rainbows, I think, or something. Yeah, and so they one tap them, and you just want to like move them forward if you want. And I'm just building a never missing target. Really don't want to die here. Can't be bothered doing this run again right now. I just wanted to get this video out for you guys. So I was a little bit worried about these mobs getting by, so I just tried affording the bottom path tier 4 of the dartling gunner, but that didn't really quite work out. But I still lived regardless. As you can see, my ground zero ability's up. Drop it, everything's dead, easy. And you can see like the druid of the jungles. Sorry, no, the bounties. They're making a ton of money, so they're kind of neat. And yeah, so I just start selling the snipers, and I'm building those 302 snipers that I'm talking about. Um, and if you need any help, you guys can ask in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. I respond relatively quickly. And if you guys get any good times, let me know as well. I'm always happy hearing what times you guys get. And if you guys want feedback as well, just create like an unlisted video or something and just link it in the comments, and I will look at them and give you feedback, or try to at least, and help you improve. And yeah, if you have any other suggestions as well for the channel on like how I could improve or help you guys learn better, I could also do that. And yeah, and I'm also considering moving towards boss guides as well. I'm not considered a boss player, but I can learn and I can definitely improve and try to create guides for those of you who are a lot newer in the game and could use some instructions, and maybe make some CT guides as well if you guys really care about that. But I don't think that's gonna have too much of a demand. And yeah, pretty much the race is about to end in like 10 seconds. Because this video is slowed down, it's gonna take a little bit longer than 10 seconds. But yeah, just kind of waiting. And yeah, this race is relatively easy. In terms of like what the times at the top of the leaderboard right now, they're definitely not waiting for all these abilities and stuff. They're using a more aggressive strat that, it's a lot more RNG, but it allows you to push so much further. Probably has something to do with like ground zero or something. So yeah, that's my time, 3:45. And if you guys snipe me, that's great. I'm happy for you guys.